The hero's wife is killed in an accident, after which strange incidents start happening in the hero's life and he starts having the worst nightmares. Then, to get rid of all this, he goes to run sheep on an island in the middle of the ocean. But it is the same thing. Instead of getting peace of mind, he has to face many more dangers there. Today, we are going to watch a horror movie released in 2021 named Shepherd. At the beginning of the movie, a man is shown drowning in water and there is a cut to show the movie's hero Eric. Actually, his wife Rachel has died in an accident and he is performing her last rites when they lower Shetty into the pit. Then suddenly someone in a black dress is standing at a distance who is looking at Eric. Here suddenly the oath box starts shaking badly. Eric gets scared and then he opens his eyes. Actually, this is very bad. He was dreaming that recently his wife Rachel had died. And since then Eric keeps having such bad and if we say scary dreams. Now only Eric and his dog live in this house. After waking up in the morning, he drinks coffee. While he is there, Cade sees a newspaper in which it is written that a shepherd is needed to steal sheep on an island in the middle of the ocean. Eric is reading it when suddenly a drawer of the table opens from the front, and from inside a small child's hand comes out. Eric is completely out of his senses as to what is this. He gets scared, and then he goes closer and looks. But there is nothing inside. But there's a scanned photo of a child which was taken when he was in his mother's womb. And then he gets ready, takes a good bath and goes to meet his mother, who lives far away, and that too in a lonely house in a deserted place. I don't know why people go to such places and build houses. If suddenly he has to go to hospital etc., then it will be difficult. Well, that is his problem. Yes, now coming back to the story, he thinks of knocking a door, but I don't know why he starts going back without knocking. And then his mother knocks at the door. She opens the door, but she doesn't lovingly ask how her son is when he comes. On the contrary, she tells a lot to Eric. What actually happened was that Eric and Rachel had a love marriage, which Eric's parents did not like, but Eric loved Rachel. She married Eric and they started living separately. After that, her father also died. Her mother is angry because Eric did not even come to her father's death. She scolds him and says that you killed her father. Now I too. You have come to kill me, because I will die here alone. But remember, don't show me your face in the future. Eric also leaves. I don't know what is going on in his mind. Rachel is no more, and now Eric's mother has also decided to adopt him. The poor guy thinks of committing suicide, but does not have the courage to die by cutting his hand. And then his eyes fall on a sheep standing there, and he remembers the ad he had read in the newspaper in the morning. Making up his mind, he goes out in a boat towards that silent place to do the job of a shepherd. A woman named Fisher drives that boat. One of her eyes is a little white, and there is also a crow there, who also has one white eye, Herrick. He looks at both of them with complete surprise. That brother, one eye of both of them is white, that is, it is different. How can this be so? Is there something wrong somewhere? Finally he reaches that island, which looks very beautiful, only now. The thing to think about is that only Eric and his dog are going to live on such a big island. Don't you know, there is also an old lighthouse there. Eric starts walking towards it. There is a border like a circle made on the ground with soil. Eric crosses it and goes away. But Fisher goes on that line. She does not cross the road, but gives the keys of her house to Eric from the side itself. She tells him that there are all the things you need in the house. You can cook your food and eat it comfortably. In case of any emergency, there is also a phone at home. Yes, you can call me from that, and yes, do not get lost anywhere in this big island. Always follow the instructions of this map. Saying this, friends, she leaves the island. Now Eric goes inside the house with his dog. There is an old and dilapidated house, and there are spider webs everywhere inside. He opens the tap, but no water comes, which means there is a problem of water too. He has to bring water from outside. He goes out with a bucket and through that map, he finds a water source. Locates the source. He finds a big stone with a symbol carved in it. When Eric takes out water, there is a strange chain in it and a ring is threaded on that chain. Eric comfortably takes it home and looks at it. I don't know why he gets these strange visions. We don't know about them right now. We will know later. Now Eric goes to the sheep, to whom he gives food. All the sheep look the same. It is obvious that he was seen counting them. Tries to do this, but they will have to stand at one place. Otherwise they start moving here and there. So Eric can't even count properly and he gets very angry. On top of that, there is no electricity in the house. There is a generator there, but no. God knows how many years he has been lying there, unable to move. Fed up, Eric somehow cooks food and eats it, then goes out and looks at the twinkling stars in the sky just above the sea. Then he goes inside and lies there in the red tan light. But out of some books lying there, he picks up one or two and starts reading them. He doesn't understand the things written in one of them. He doesn't even hear anyone's voice speaking in his ears. But he doesn't pay much attention to them, and the book remains there. After keeping it, he starts walking up the stairs. There is also his bedroom. But I don't know why he feels as if he is going up and down the stairs. He doesn't stumble. Somehow he reaches the top. His dog is near the door. He goes and barks as if he has seen something strange. Remembering Hey Kabari Chow, he sleeps peacefully. After waking up in the morning, he comes down to make coffee. Oh, There is hot coffee kept on the table. Imagine what is the condition of that, Eric. It must have happened that no one else lives on this big island except Eric. So who has prepared this coffee? Out of fear, Eric searches everywhere, but does not see anyone there. Then he goes to feed the sheep, and suddenly he hears a scream. Eric is heard startlingly yelling, "Who is there? Come over there," and then the sound stops. Eric sees all the sheep staring at him. He gets completely scared and immediately comes home. Then he goes to call Fisher, picks up the phone for Fisher, but it seems the phone line is down due to the bad weather last night, so the call is not going through. But Fisher had said she would come to see Eric once a week. Now Eric wonders when she will come, so I will tell him all the things here. Then Eric starts his daily work. Then suddenly he sees Fisher near the lighthouse. She brings something in a big bag, puts it inside the lighthouse and goes away. Eric calls her. She also tells him to please stop, but she walks away as if she didn't hear anything. Eric doesn't even understand why Fisher came for her, and she didn't even look back at Eric even though he was shouting so much. Still, she didn't look. Now he tries to open the door of the lighthouse where Fisher had kept the bag, but it is an iron door and it is also locked. Eric accepts defeat and comes home. That night, he does not know what he is thinking and he looks at the mirror. Suddenly, the scene cuts to Eric being in the middle of the forest, and a scary face appears in front of him. At some distance, we also see Rachel. Eric goes near her, but Rachel is looking somewhere else. Eric is in that direction. When he looks inside, he sees the same black-clothed figure who often appeared in Eric's dreams. Eric suddenly turns around in panic and finds himself right in front of Eric. And again we learn that Eric opens his eyes. It is his worst nightmare. That means now he has got used to such bad dreams, so he doesn't take them too seriously. When he wakes up and comes down, he finds another hobby. His mother is standing below. Think. Eric asks mother, "How did you know that I am having this dream?" "I am in the island." But she is silently washing the utensils, and then she says that you went to marry that Rachel against my and your father's wishes, and you left both of us and went away. You left your parents for such a girl, Dia, who has had affairs with many men. You did not correct this. She cries a lot saying son. Eric also goes to her and starts crying. "Please forgive me, ma." Somehow they both reconcile, and then she prepares food for Eric. Eric is very hungry, and suddenly what happens is that his mother starts cutting his hand with a knife. Eric shouts, "Mother, what are you doing?" And then she pounces on Eric and kills him. She tries to kill him. His face becomes absolutely scary. Then Esri's eyes open. This was also a bad dream. It seems that dreams will show him dreams. But now when he wakes up from the dream, his dog is not at home. Eric is on this deserted island. Eric's only companion was his dog. That too is missing. All the doors and windows are closed. So how did he go out? Eric is thinking that the phone is ringing, and when he picks up the phone, it is Fisher who is calling him. She asks Merrick to tell me how is your work going on the island. Merrick angrily shouts at him, "Tell me one thing. Yesterday you came here after doing something in the lighthouse and went away. I was shouting at the top of my voice that you didn't even look back. Now you're asking me how my work is going. Hey, I thought I don't have any work to do here. Please take me away from here." But now she says, "Friends, you will have to suffer the punishment for your mistake anyway. Let me tell you. Your dog is missing." Eric asks, "How do you know?" She says, "Don't ask questions and first of all, find your dog." And then she disconnects the call. Yes, poor guy. Eric starts searching for a dog in the entire island. He understands. It seems that Fisher is playing some dangerous game with him. Suddenly fog starts covering the entire island. He is unable to see anything. And at one place, he slips and falls. Then he sees the same black form in the distance. Now he is so blinded. He gets angry. What should I tell him? He says that I can't bear this daily fear anymore. Today I will just keep looking at that form, thinking, and if he goes near the form, it is just a stone. Poor Eric also gets knocked down. Carr starts laughing. "Tell me, man, I was so scared after seeing a stone." But then he gets another hobby. There is a big ship on that islet. Now Eric goes inside it and looks, but there is no one there. Below he sees a ship. The key is lying there, which Eric picks up easily, and at the same time, the same black form is right behind him. He is able to sense it, but due to fear, he does not have the courage to turn and look at it, and he runs straight out. Somehow he finds his way home. But when he reaches there at night, Eric goes to his bedroom and blocks the door with a table, chair and many other things, so that no one can enter inside. Then someone beats on the door. Eric now goes out in anger with a knife, but there is no one there. Eric feels that no one is playing a prank on him. He then goes towards that ship. But the ship which was there yesterday is no longer there. Sheep are walking there. Hey, I can't understand what is dream and what is truth. Has he gone mad? Then at night, see what happens when he comes home, opens another book and reads it comfortably. And there's another shocking thing in it. He comes to know about it in that book, right? There are many drawings in which there is also a drawing of his dog in which his face seems completely mangled, that is as if it has decayed. Arek then angrily throws that book on the wall. Next morning Fisher calls and Arek confronts her. He begs to please take me away from here, but now Fisher says that you can cry as much as you want, but now this is your home and you will live there and die there too, and one had almost given up. Now she has no choice but to get out of here. There was no way. But then his eyes fall on the key which he found in the big ship. meaning that ship was real and this key is also real. He tries to open the door of the lighthouse with that key. A symbol is made which Eric had seen on a stone earlier in the day. The door also opens and Eric sees that inside there are several 100 dead birds whose bodies have been stuffed with something and kept there. When he starts climbing up, he finds it is very difficult in the stairs because he feels that the stairs are going up and down. Remember friends, Eric was feeling the same thing on the stairs of the house. It seems that the stairs are going round and round. Hare's head starts getting very dizzy. Still, he tries hard and reaches the top, but there is nothing special there. He only sees a big light. Eric now starts descending in reverse. At one place he falls and then finally gets out of the lighthouse. Now, friends, the scene seen there will take your breath away. All the sheep he had come to graze were killed and their skins were tied on sticks. Eric's dog along with those sheep. The same fate has been done to him. He has the same chain around his neck which Eric had taken out of the water. Now he gets very nervous thinking who would have done such a disgusting act, and after coming home, he shrinks in a corner and sits. Then he sees his wife. Dangerous visuals are seen of Rachel and a small child. Suddenly, when he opens his eyes, the place is filled with fog. He accidentally spills petrol in it. Anyway, we have to die in the island, so why delay in doing a good deed? Thinking about it, Eric decides to set fire to the petrol but doesn't know what its fate is. Then the sound of a boat comes in the sea. Eric is a little happy that the boat has finally arrived, and then the dark form that often comes in Eric's dreams appears. Now he comes forward. She is none other than Eric's wife Rachel, that is, his soul. She asks again and again, "Why did you do this to me?" Eric says, "You are not my wife." Saying this, he throws the lighter on the petrol and runs out. While walking, Eric's spirit shouts, "Don't go. Don't go." But Eric ignores her words and swims towards the boat. But he is unable to reach near the boat and starts drowning in the water. The movie started with this scene, friends, and the man shown drowning was Ark. Ark is trying to swim to the surface, but Rachel's spirit grabs him and pulls him down. In the next scene, Ark is lying unconscious on a beach. Some people find him. They save him and take him to the hospital, where he slowly starts recovering. A police officer interrogates him and asks him to clearly tell us everything that happened on that day. He also tells, and after hearing everything she says, "I think you are under a lot of stress. That is why you are getting such illusions. Actually, if I tell you, there is no such island in that sea. Well, you rest now, and if you need anything, there is a phone here. Just call me." Saying this, friends, she leaves, and after some time what happens is that a call comes on that phone and it is the same Fisher's call. She says, "Wow, after all, you have escaped from that silent person, but you have forgotten about your mother. Do you know what I did to them?" Actually, friends, Fisher went to Eric's mother's house and killed her with a knife. Now she further says that the island you live on is not an ordinary island. It is a cursed place. When you lived there, cursed border crossed and stepped inside. From there your curse started. After that, no matter how hard you try, you cannot get out of that island. You will have to suffer the punishment for your mistakes. Saying this, friends, she disconnects the call. Arik turns and looks at a door, below which there is a bright light coming out, and on that door there is also that strange symbol which he had seen on the island. He gets scared and opens the door slowly. Oh, then it turns out that he did not escape from that island, meaning Urka is dying. Will stay on an island for 10 days and will suffer the punishment for his mistakes. The question is whether Eric did something for which he is getting punished. Actually, this was already told in the movie, but we presented it to you in a slightly different way. To maintain the suspense, that secret has not been revealed yet. So now let's do it. Eric and Rachel got married and everything was going well. The problem started when Rachel became pregnant. Eric started suspecting that there was someone in Rachel's stomach, and there was a fight between them on this issue. One day they had an argument in the car, and while going, Eric got into an accident in the car. Eric wanted both Rachel and the child in her stomach to die. Could have saved him, but Eric suspected that Rochelle had cheated on him and was carrying someone else's child, so he deliberately left both of them to die. This was Eric's heinous crime for which he is suffering the punishment. That island is actually the devil. It is a hell created by God on earth, and here, people who do bad things are brought so that they realize their misdeeds and repent for them all their life. And the limit of the same hell was crossed by Eric when he crossed the line on the island. Had crossed, and he could not find any way to return from here. With this movie ends here.